Look around your room right now. Seriously, take a second. Almost everything you see, the phone in your hand, the ergonomic chair you're sitting in, the very shirt on your back, once lived inside a cold, corrugated steel box. For weeks, your entire life was packed into a dark, rectangular void, swaying on a deck in the middle of the Pacific. You don't think about the box. Nobody does. We obsess over the agentic AI in the cloud or the sleek branding on the packaging, but we ignore the physical atoms that delivered them. While the world is distracted by the digital gold rush, there is a ghost infrastructure haunting the planet. It is an invisible skeleton that keeps the global body from collapsing under its own weight. Success is a lagging indicator. We think global trade is about the massive ships or the automated ports, but that's a rookie mistake. Trade is about the boxes, and one company has a near monopoly on the box. Welcome to the story of Triton International, the company that owns the world, 20 feet at a time. The inventory of everything. In the high-stakes theater of global business, there is a concept I call the psychological moat. Most companies try to build a moat with software, patents, or brand loyalty. But those moats are shallow. A teenager in a garage can disrupt software. A patent expires. Brand loyalty fades when a cheaper option appears. Triton International built a different kind of moat. They built it out of 7 million units of weathered steel. Triton is what we call an atomic brand. They don't own the ships. Ships are expensive. High-maintenance divas that sink or get stuck in canals. They don't own the ports. Ports are political nightmares, subject to the whims of local unions and sovereign governments. Instead, Triton owns the utility. They own the 20-foot equivalent unit, or TOE. They own the space. When you own the space that everyone else's products must occupy, you aren't just a participant in the market. You are the market. Triton's fleet of over 7 million TOE represents the physical inventory of human civilization. If Triton decided to stop leasing tomorrow, the global economy wouldn't just slow down. It would seize. Every supply chain, from high-end semiconductors to the grain in your cereal, would hit a brick wall. This is a level of leverage that no AI agent can swim across. You can't prompt a physical container into existence. You can't disrupt the need for a weatherproof, stackable steel room that fits on a truck, a train, and a boat. Triton is the ultimate inventory of everything. They have moved beyond the volatility of the shipping industry and into the realm of pure structural necessity. They are the landlord of the ocean, and business is always in season. The boiling frog of logistics. To understand why Triton is the most important company you've never heard of, we have to look back at the great hollow-out of 2021 and 2022. For decades, the global economy was lounging in an efficiency narcotic. We were addicted to the just-in-time model. Everything was lean. Everything was optimized. Every imba in the world was preached the gospel of asset light. Why own anything physical when you can just rent it or outsource it? But then the water started boiling. The supply chain crisis wasn't just a delay. It was a realization. The world realized it was sitting in a jacuzzi of cheap shipping that was rapidly turning into a pressure cooker. When the ports clogged and the ships stalled, the asset-light giants looked like fools. They had the orders, they had the customers, but they didn't have the boxes. This was the complexity trap. We had built a global system so complex and so tightly wound that one missing link caused the whole machine to scream. While the rest of the world was panicking, Triton was scaling. They were the only reason the global muscles didn't completely atrophy. While shipping lines were desperately scrounging for equipment, Triton sat back and watched their trust reservoir overflow. They had the steel. They had the atoms. The boiling frog of logistics eventually jumped out of the pot, but it left a lot of skin behind. The lesson was clear. In a crisis, the person who owns the software is a consultant. The person who owns the steel is a king. Triton didn't just survive the supply chain crisis. They used it to prove that asset light is just another word for vulnerable. The efficiency narcotic. There is a fundamental tension in modern business. We are told that efficiency is the ultimate good. But efficiency is a lagging indicator of failure. When you optimize a system for 100% efficiency, you remove all the slack. And when you remove the slack, you remove the resilience. Triton International is inefficient by design. To the average McKinsey consultant, Triton looks like a nightmare. They have billions of dollars tied up in physical assets that just sit there. They have to deal with the grit, the rust, and the physical reality of 90% of non-bulk global trade. It's heavy, it's slow, it's unsexy. But this is exactly why they are unkillable. We are currently watching the great unraveling of the asset-light model. Companies that thought they could run the world from a laptop are finding out that the physical world has a way of asserting itself. You see it in the failing last-mile delivery startups and the crumbling infrastructure of digital-first retailers. They forgot that at some point, a human being has to move a physical object from point A to point B. Triton didn't forget. They embraced the friction. They realized that owning the invisible skeleton of trade meant they could dictate the terms of the flesh. They provide the efficiency narcotic that the rest of the world craves. Without Triton's containers, the global village is just a collection of isolated islands. They are the ones who allow us to maintain the illusion that geography doesn't matter. They are the ones who make it possible for you to buy a mango in a blizzard. They own the physical reality that everyone else is trying to ignore. And in 2026, reality is the most expensive commodity on the market. The 2026 reality and the takeover. This brings us to the present. The smart money has stopped chasing the next big app and started fleeing back to the ground. They are looking for the infrastructure of the soul, the things that have to exist for society to function. This is why, in 2023, Brookfield Infrastructure Partners stepped out of the shadows and acquired Triton International for $13.3 billion. It was one of the most significant pivots in recent financial history, yet it barely made the front page of the non-financial press. Why? Because it's not disruptive, it's foundational. Brookfield isn't interested in the digital hype. They are an infrastructure predator. They saw a company that owned the essential utility of global commerce and realized it was undervalued because it didn't have a .com in its name. By taking Triton private, they secured a seat at the head of the global table. As we sit here in 2026, the privatization of Triton represents a shift in the global power dynamic. We are moving away from the era of information and back into the era of materials. The digital world is saturated. The cloud is full. But the physical world? The physical world is still wide open, and it is governed by the laws of steel and sea. When Brookfield bought Triton, they weren't just buying a fleet of containers, they were buying a hedge against the volatility of the future. No matter who wins the AI wars, no matter which currency becomes the new global standard, people will still need to move things. The infrastructure of the soul isn't built on lines of code, it's built on 14-gauge corrugated steel. We live in a world of increasingly artificial things. We have artificial intelligence, artificial meat, and artificial social lives. We have become so detached from the physical origins of our existence that we've started to believe the physical doesn't matter. But success is a mask. It hides the grimy, rusted, salt-stained reality of what it takes to keep 8 billion people fed, clothed, and entertained. Triton International is the reminder that beneath the user interface of our modern lives, there is a brutal, mechanical heart. The next time you open a package, don't look at the logo on the box. Think about the steel container that carried it across the abyss. Think about the company that owns the space between your desires and your doorstep. In a world where everything is becoming digital, ephemeral, and fake, the only thing that ultimately matters is who owns the steel. Because when the digital clouds finally dissipate, and they always do, the only thing left standing will be the skeleton. And the skeleton is owned by Triton. By 2026, we've entered the post-optimization era. The world has realized that the just-in-time dream was actually a nightmare of fragility. We are now in the age of just-in-case, and Triton is the ultimate warehouse of that philosophy. They aren't just moving goods, they are hoarding the very capacity of civilization to function. They have turned the humble steel box into a financial instrument more stable than most sovereign currencies. We spent decades trying to transcend the physical. We thought we could upload the global economy to the cloud and leave the atoms behind. But Triton is the gravity that pulls us back to Earth. It's a cynical reality, but an undeniable one. Your digital freedom is entirely dependent on a physical box. You can't download a supply chain. You can't stream a meal. You are tethered to the steel, and as long as Triton owns the skeleton, they own the movement of the soul. In the end, the efficiency narcotic eventually wears off, leaving us with the cold, hard truth of the material world. We are a species that lives in boxes. We work in them, we sleep in them, and we move our entire world within them. Triton simply had the foresight to own the walls. While the world chases the ghost in the machine, the smart money is betting on the machine itself. Because at the end of the day, when the lights flicker and the screens go dark, the only thing you can actually touch is the steel. And that steel is the only thing that's real.